Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a live webinar, Building Kickass Landing Pages. During this webinar today, we are going to talk about how you can create unique website pages that help engage your prospects. So let's talk first about what is a landing page. A landing page is a page on your website that is targeted for a specific audience. Landing pages allow you to present your product or service in a way that your audience would respond positively. So your main pages on your website are an overview of how you can help your customers. A landing page is an opportunity for you to help make specific cases with different audience profiles inside of who your customers are or the people who purchase your products or services. So let's talk briefly about the benefits of a landing page. Keywords in your content that naturally happen as you build those pages increase your chances of appearing in search results. By creating landing pages for each customer profile, you are creating more opportunities for search engines to locate your website and steer visitors there. So we'll talk a little more about SEO and why keywords are an important factor of that a little later in today's webinar. So let's talk about how do you build a kick-ass landing page. So there are 6 tips that we're going to cover today that will help you build a kick-ass landing page on your website. So the first thing that you have to do is tell your customer's story. Before writing your content, it is important to understand who your customers are and why they buy your product or service. So a great example of that would be someone in the home improvement field. You want to think about the reasons and the logic and the process that comes from who your customers are to what draws them ultimately to make the decision to contact your business. So the better you can tell that story of who your customers are and why they should reach out to you, the better. And that leads us to our second tip today here, which is do your keyword research. So search engines have come a long way in how people are able to interact with them. Thanks to the rise of smartphones, digital personal assistants such as Siri, Cortana, and Alexa, more users are speaking directly to their device to conduct searches. So we believe now that about half of all searches that happen in 2020 are going to be conducted by voice. So a great example of that would be using the microphone inside of your default search to ask your question. So that's come a long way from just entering specific keywords into the browser. What that means is that you're going to find strings of keywords as they would happen naturally in a sentence, since we speak a different way from how we just type alone. Second, we know that before COVID-19 happened here in 2020, that most customers who are searching online for a local business are going to then turn around and visit that business. So approximately half of the people who search for a local business entity ended up visiting that business within 24 hours. So it's important to make sure you understand what keywords your prospective customers are using when searching for the products or services that you're able to provide them. Next, you have to define your overall value proposition. The first thing your visitors to your landing page should see is what value they are going to gain by purchasing your product or service. Your overall value proposition must get their attention and make them want to continue reading. So this is where it's a good idea, if you know a common pain point that your customers have before they purchase your product or service, to just kind of put it out there. Make the case. It all ties back into telling the story. What circumstance or scenario are your customers in before they purchase your products or service? And that brings us to tip number 4, which is to talk about the benefits of your product or service. Too many business owners emphasize the features of their product or service. Your website visitors eventually will want to see what the features are, but they need to see the benefits of what your product or service is going to bring them first. It helps them envision where they stand and what they gain by purchasing from you. Using your understanding of your customers, you have to explain why your product or service is something that they want or need and why they should continue reading on that page. Next, tip number 5, use customer success stories. So, customer success stories is a great way to help bring to life what happens when a customer purchases your product or service. A happy customer is an excellent way to convince on the fence prospects. And a customer story that fits the audience on your landing page just really helps make it real. Next, we have provide a clear call to action. So when you design your landing page, you have to have in mind a next step that you want your website visitors to take. You can help increase your chances that the visitor will take that call to action by making an irresistible offer. For example, if your buying process is longer, you may want to provide something like an ebook or a white paper or some kind of freebie that they get, whether or not they end up doing business with you. Spreading and sharing education about your industry and your products or services will go a long way to help you at the end of the day. So those are our tips for building kick-ass landing pages. To learn more about how to create a website and online business presence for your small business, visit www.openindiana.com/watch. Thanks for watching.